We just can't help ourselves. We keep sitting here week after week reviewing your videos. On Tuesdays, we do the channels. Today, we're going to do the videos. We're going to go into your content and we're going to see what can be done to perhaps improve upon what you're already doing on YouTube. What are you doing right? What are you doing wrong? And I think it helps. I think it helps to look at other people's videos and see what it is you can do to maybe improve in your process. So thank you all for being here. To those of you watching this 2-hour video and going, why did this take 2 hours? It's because it was a live stream. So we do appreciate you watching after the fact. Hopefully you get a lot of value out of that, but you do want to subscribe and be sure to join us for the next live stream so you could perhaps get your channel pulled up here. And to those of you who are live in chat, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to say hello to everybody watching this after the fact so they feel welcomed and included. Speaking of welcoming people and including them, let's welcome in today's co-host. It's Rob.
Hey, I'm trying to do the hand emoji that was just on screen there. Is it kind of like just like that? Hey, everybody. Dan, as always, pleasure to be with you on another auditing session. I'm actually now starting to realize that you are the live stream king here at VidiQ, because obviously I host on Tuesdays, but you host on Wednesdays, and you more or less 95% of the time are on the Tuesday live streams, while I'm more of a like a 60 to 80% conversion rate on the Wednesday ones. So good job. You kind of secretly taking command, and I actually like that. Because I'm getting tired of live streaming every week.
I love live streaming. It's great. We get to do a whole 2-hour video, and I don't even have to edit the thing, which is awesome.
That is true. That is so true. Like, folks, we've got this down to such a T that I turned up at 10:56, so 4 minutes before we went live, and then I just disappeared to make a drink as Dan started the intro. Because we kind of know what we're doing with these live streams.
Kinda. We are adding an element today, so I think people will be excited. We are. I would say for part of today's stream, we're going to try something a bit new. We did not really talk about it too much before the stream, so it's going to be chaos. It's going to be a mess, but let's get into it. So how this works every week is that we have now 2 forms, new and improved. We have one for channels that are not gaming channels, and we have one for channels that do identify as gaming channels on YouTube. So be sure to fill out the proper form. They're both linked down below. Once you do that, we will be using something to randomly pick your channels out from the crowd, and perhaps you'll end up getting your video reviewed.
Man, that made an early appearance today. Whew.
It's the claw.
Yeah, all right.
So yes, it is the claw. Now, we did pick the first channels that managed to submit, so we're going to be giving the claw a rest for now. But the way it basically works is we go into the forums, we see that almost 200 people have filled this thing out in both cases. So I'm just going to go ahead and preset the claw here to like 200, and we'll have that ready to go. But the first videos we're going to look at today are from Pet Connection International. They have 815 subscribers, and they're the first person to manage to submit when these forms went live. So what do you think? Should we check out the first one?
Yeah, this is a channel that we have audited in the past. I don't think we've actually looked at their content too much in detail. And, you know, as Dan said, we try and find incentives for you to get audits. And we're going to show you other incentives, but do keep an eye out. Pretty much when the live stream ends on a Tuesday, the Wednesday one almost immediately goes public. And that's when the forms are completely clear. We purge them. And so we try to reward the first person who gets in there, who hasn't been audited or reviewed before. And it's Pet International this week.
Yes. And now, just by looking at their content real quick, what I will say from just looking at this thumbnail here, or the moving thumbnail, is that it looks like they're doing shorts and then stitching them together into longer videos. I've seen this actually work pretty well for some channels that do like animal shorts. So we're going to look at this first one and just kind of see, but I kind of feel like I know what we're going to get here.
Are gerbils bad pets? Well, that depends on how you feel about the pros and cons of keeping them. The most obvious pro being just how cute they are. I mean, look at that face. And that one. How can you not fall in love with them? And as well as being extremely cute, they're also very clean. As a desert species, they're adapted to survive in areas with very little water.
Pause. 20 seconds in. I would say this is like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 intro. And the reasons for this are as follows. The very first thing the video does was reinforce the title, which is to repeat the question, but do it very, very quickly. So the viewer knows they're in the right place. They're not going to have to wait around for that question to be answered. That's all good. I thought there was a lot of B-roll and moving of clips. I think I probably saw at least 4 or 5 different clips there. I didn't really have a problem with a vertical one down at the very beginning because
I thought it was going to be a way different video, but
it was done appropriately.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing that was missing was a gerbil behaving badly. Would there been an opportunity in there to begin with? Maybe just as we have this freeze frame on here now, that this gerbil's going to do something a little odd. But that was the one thing that was maybe missing. It sounded like it was all, gerbils are fantastic. They're all good. Where was the conflict there? That's maybe what I was missing. What about you, Dan?
I felt like they were going to get there eventually, but it would have been cool to kind of to set that up. Like, maybe cleaning the cage is just the whole thing, and so you could have like thrown that in, like, are gerbils bad pets? I don't know. Like, look at this mess and look at, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of flip flop back and forth between positive and negative. But I do like that in the first 20 seconds, I'm already learning that they're a desert species and like, so they're already like getting into these facts. So I think it was, good. But yeah, I think you're right. If you could kind of tease the parts of the video in that first 20, 30 seconds by giving us a little bit more. But I would say that's like a nitpick. I really thought this was a very strong video.
If you look at a thumbnail and if you look at the intro, there's no evidence of bad pets yet. And I guess and as I say, I'm saying this is a 7 or 8 out of 10 intro. I think it's very good. It's just maybe it's not delivering enough on the negative connotation, the conflict that you're trying to introduce. So we maybe watch another 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Bodies have evolved to conserve as much water as possible, resulting in very small amounts of urine, making their bedding last longer than some other pet rodents before it starts to smell. Gerbils are also often naturally toilet trained by simply providing a sand bath. Not all gerbils respond as well to this though, and even mostly toilet trained gerbils will still occasionally use other areas as their bathroom. The small peas and good toilet habits also contribute to the general.
Now, pause there. I'm just wondering if, when the gerbil was almost digging there, I'm wondering if you could have brought that like towards the very beginning. I had some sort of funny skit with them, almost like pretending to behave badly. That might be just like a natural part of their behavior, but you could have turned that into a bit of a joke. And I am getting a little bit of, how do I say this without being critical? This is very educational, very factual, but it's not very, it's lacking a little bit of excitement or a little bit of humor, maybe a little too dry, but that is a very subjective opinion. I guess I just like a little bit more playfulness in the content that I watch.
When it comes to pets, I think there's room for that, for sure.
Yeah.
But I ultimately, I think it's really hard for me to knock too many points away from this creator. It's a really strong video. I feel like this entire 6 minute and 20-second video is going to be just packed full of value.
I agree.
You know, all kinds of things that any potential gerbil owner should think about. And that's what brings me to like the title. I kind of feel like I like the simplicity of the title, and we talk about having short titles, but I kind of feel like framing this as a different question, like, should you adopt gerbils or something like that, just to give it just that extra tiny bit more context, because that really is what this is. Like, at the end of the day, it's kind of helping people decide whether or not this is something they're going to do for themselves, just given all the education that's kind of coming at us. So I'm kind of wondering if that's why we're seeing like a decent view count, but for when it was uploaded, I would like to see this number a bit higher given the quality of the video. You have bad pets here, so you kind of repeated yourself in the title. So you could have, this was room in the real estate to say, should you adopt gerbils? So you can have some different wording, and then the thumbnail is like bad pets, like implying that you should not, and then people watch the video to learn more.
Again, this is just my weird mind running through its thumbnail creativity. But imagine if it was a thumbnail, and instead of bad pets, so you have a title is still "Are Gerbils Bad Pets?" and instead of the word bad pets, can you remember the scene in Jurassic Park where Jeff Goldblum walks up to a huge steaming pile of whatever and says, "That is one big pile of." You have a big steaming pile of gerbil droppings, which is bigger than the gerbil itself. I don't know. That's how my weird and warped mind was. But it would create a bit of tension. Like, do gerbils really produce that much waste? And I know it's a bit clickbaity and teasy, but it might win a click. Anyway, we're going into thumbnail auditing.
It's okay. It's all the only thing I can do when the video is this good.
Yeah. As you say, Dan, given the amount of information we got in the first minute, that must have taken forever to script, research, and then put together. And you want this channel to do better. I'm just curious. Do a search for "Are gerbils bad pets?" I'm wondering if any other creator has. Oh, there's good pets there. I wonder if anybody. So it ranks number 1 for that search term. It may be influenced by the fact that we've just watched it.
Mhm.
I don't know if that would be the same for
And
incognito.
we typed it verbatim.
Yeah. I'm wondering just if it's not a good pitch title wise. Maybe it should be "Are gerbils good pets?" or there's a better way to phrase it in terms of a title.
Mhm.
Because I guess it is a little concerning that it does rank number 1. That would seem to suggest that it's not a hugely popular search term, and I'm presuming this channel gets a lot of air traffic from search, given that they are a gerbil education channel.
Just a quick note about thumbnails and titles in general. Notice how this is a top 10 video. Top 10 facts about gerbils you wish you'd known sooner. Look at the thumbnail. Like, how much intrigue do you feel like you're getting from that? It's kind of interesting, right? Like, gerbil with apple and an umbrella. It's the thumbnail is like implying perhaps one of the facts. Don't really know what it is. But just to anyone who's ever done a top 10 video, don't try and put all 10 of your facts on the thumbnail. I've seen people try to fit that many elements on a thumbnail. You only need to tease it with like one thing. So just a quick side note. I like the channel. I like what we saw here, and I think they're doing some good things. I think we should move on though to the next channel.
It was interesting how we quickly moved away from the video review, Dan, and then started talking about not necessarily a channel audit, but the whole pitch and how that might be improved because the video quality was so good. So I'm more than happy to give this person a ding.
When your video is that of that high quality, we do need to kind of look at other factors too, because when we're seeing view counts that could be a bit better compared to the subscriber count, I would like to see that view count a bit higher because it's a mass appeal video, in my opinion, for potential pet owners. And yeah, it does kind of bring us back to titles and thumbnails. I think it's very easy for us to kind of switch. So the first gaming channel that managed to submit to us today was Fipsimon. I think I nailed it. Fipsimon.
Yeah, that sounds
so
fairly accurate.
They call themselves a gaming channel, but they do a lot of they flip-flop between Pokemon trading cards and Pokemon video games. So it is a bit. I almost didn't go forward with it because I'm like, I don't think you're a gaming channel, but there's enough here to where, and you can argue it's the Pokemon trading card game. Fine. So I want to watch a short, and then I want to check out not this. This looks like it was a live stream. Yeah. This video here.
Okay.
Well, no, this is gameplay. I want to do a short and I want to do a gaming video. So we'll see how they do their live streams too.
Leaf energy. Ooh, fighting energy. Little fist bump energy, huh? And hopefully in this Brilliant Stars get something. I think I see something sparkling.
I'm gonna mute it. Sorry, I'm trying to go a stream without getting a copyright claim.
Yeah.
So it looks like by the end you kind of find this card here. Let's see. Is the music there? Yeah, the music's still there. All right. So in terms of a YouTube short, I think off the bat, you are introduced to cards. Boom. Like the short barely starts and the card is already being flipped over. You can see the host up here, kind of on the other camera angle, and you're immediately getting that like, okay, I know where I am. I don't know how other Pokemon trading card, I guess, quote unquote, unboxings go on YouTube and in YouTube Shorts. What did you think, Rob? Like, I don't know if you, I don't know much about Pokemon cards, especially these days. So we're kind of at a disadvantage there, I think.
Even though we did a video about it a couple of months ago.
I wasn't about Pokemon cards.
I know.
It's just
I know.
the example.
So here's what I like. I like the fact that the creator has considered the shorts viewing experience in that they have two camera angles, their potential reaction to the cards and the cards themselves. So you've not tried to just letterbox it or anything. I think that's really good. And it doesn't look as if any of the YouTube, I don't know what to call this, like the YouTube short layout is interfering with the cards. But what I will say is that it feels like this is being clipped from a longer video. And because of that, there felt like there was 5 to 10 seconds of dead space, dead air, when they were just flicking through cards, kind of doing commentary, which would be perfectly fine in a live stream or a VOD. But I think with a short, we need to get to the unveil much quicker. Whether you do that as a time lapse or like you do like some really interesting transition to get there. Like as you say, Dan, I was quite excited where like I was straight into it. All right, it's revealing a card, but then can you just refresh it? Keep it muted. And as you say, this is a little difficult. Like, okay, but why are you skipping through all of these cards if they're not really relevant to this short? Because we've flicked through like 6 or 7 cards now. Is that the important card? I feel as if we need to jump to it sooner. Get to a point a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did notice that there was a bunch of cards I wasn't even getting to look at them because they were being flipped through so fast, and you didn't seem very excited about them.
Yeah.
You being the creator. So it does beg the question: why are those first ones there? Now, depending on what you were saying in the moment, maybe it was for context because maybe I forget exactly what you said. Maybe it's like, okay, let's see what we got here, or something like that. So that helps the viewer hear you say something, and they're like, oh, okay, so they're just starting to open these up. But you can do that in post. Like you can add text or audio, so maybe you zoom in on your face, right? So instead of seeing the Pokemon cards here, you zoom in on your face and you're, maybe you set this up. So let's pretend that for a sec they were streaming this and they made it into a short later, right? So knowing you're going to make this into a short later, you look at the camera and you hold the pack up and say, I have no idea if we're going to get blah, 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 but here we go. And then you don't need to skip all the junk cards. Then the next frame is this scene we're seeing right here where you flip to that last card and you're like, oh, we did it, or oh, it's crap, and you throw it away. But when it comes to YouTube Shorts, I think the audience needs two things. There needs to be like an immediate understanding of what they're going to get in the content, and they need to be introduced with enough context to feel like you made this for them specifically. So they didn't need to be there for a live stream that they missed. They see it and they're like, oh, okay, cool. I was being thought of while this was being produced. And sometimes you can tell when people take content and repurpose it in such a way where there's not enough context. The audience isn't being brought like into the fold. Not that they didn't do that. I think it was like in between. I don't know if you want me to move on or you're going to say something. You have that face.
No, I don't think I've really got anything to add about this short. You said you did want to watch
yes,
some gameplay, the live stream maybe.
So with the gameplay, you're playing Pokemon Arceus, and it looks like I'm seeing some like evolving skies. Maybe you're also doing Pokemon like trading card stuff in these. I want to look at a stream. We haven't looked at a stream on this before during these reviews, and I want to see how they start their streams and maybe just give some general streaming advice. So we won't watch the first, we'll skip around.
All right.
Because I'm guessing we're right into it.
Welcome everybody into the stream.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate that there wasn't a big countdown timer. You schedule these things ahead of time. You can definitely get away with just starting the stream. So I like that. So how long is your intro? It looks like you labeled the intro to be about 14 minutes, but I would say right here is where you get into the game, which is interesting.
And then I'm gonna work on trying to get some YouTube videos out.
Very cool live stream setup, by the way. That the studio looks good.
I
some
love
nice accented lighting there. You've got some nano leaf canvas triangles that you don't have on as well. I wonder if they're like are just too bright over on his right hand side. Yeah, because I use them.
Yeah.
And obviously using the tried and tested Shure SMB7 sounded good. So all of that sounds good. Live stream setup nailed down, which I think leads into the quality of the shorts as well.
Yeah, really, really solid setup here. So it does look like I was right. They are going to do some stuff with Pokemon trading cards and then gameplay.
Stream to my normal stream time because we're taking off tomorrow.
So I think, and with streams, I think you can get away with this, but I think the reason this is all labeled intro is because they're still kind of like addressing their audience. They're not really addressing the game just yet.
The internet in my office has also been struggling.
Picture in picture.
How's your night going, my friend?
Reactions, good.
On this evening?
We can, so that just talking to their audience, I kind of wonder why intro was moved all the way over here, because it does seem like now we're kind of into the game. Things are chill. Chapter wise, it might be a little confusing for people watching after the fact.
It's a timestamp on a live stream. I'm not gonna be too critical.
Oh, yeah, I know. Let's see what is special about this timestamp. Not much change, but that's all right.
Chilling like a villain, baby.
The point is you're timestamping your live streams. So then we get to opening Pokemon cards, and they did say they were going to film some YouTube videos. So I think this is where they're kind of opening cards and they're kind of filming their videos live.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good way to repurpose content.
Oh yeah, pretty solid. I do appreciate that you are putting chapters on live streams, and I feel like not enough people do that. There is replayability with these. What I would say is I would have flip-flopped the title, because you start with Pokemon Legends and then you open the cards. And because a lot of this is going to get truncated, people are going to see gameplay and they came for this part over here, way in the back. So another nitpick, but ultimately really solid stream setup. I liked that you went right into it with the intro. Yeah, no real negative critiques there, I don't think. You are reusing the thumbnails. If I would do channel audit mode, I would be switching these out a little more often, but yeah.
The numbers are very solid on the shorts. They seem to be getting, on average, like 500 views per short. Some a little bit more, some a little bit less. Again, we're getting into channel audit mode a little bit here, but I guess the one thing to note is that you either do a short which is less than 30 seconds or a video that is more than half an hour, be it a video on demand or a live stream. I think, Dan, if you scroll down, there was one 10-minute video there. Still quite a leap from shorts to video on demand. There is a 4-minute video there, and that looks as if it performs a little bit better. So again, if you want to create more video on demand content, maybe try and experiment with that 2 to 3 to 4-minute range, so that there's a similar level of editing and style in the content. But again, we're going into channel audits and we don't want to do too much of that today.
There is a quick aside. We should talk about this real quick. When it comes to YouTube Shorts, that I think this channel that we're looking at and other channels kind of, should know about. So I'm only pulling this from memory right now, but I watched a little bit of a VidCon conversation between Mr. Beast and someone who works at YouTube. And their name escapes me. I'm sorry.
Todd Beaupay. I can't remember his surname.
Well, thank you. You got closer than me, I guess. So basically, when asked about YouTube Shorts and transferring that audience to long form content, they admitted something about the YouTube Shorts algorithm. Ooh. And it was really, really, really eye opening. Basically, what was said, and forgive me if I butchered the crap out of this, but basically what was said was, when YouTube Shorts first came out, people were watching them. And YouTube was like, wow, people really seem to like short videos. And all of a sudden, YouTube starts prioritizing short videos in general across the board. So people are just getting recommended short videos, and YouTube noticed this was killing any video that was over a certain length. So in order to fix this very quickly, they admitted that they decoupled YouTube Shorts recommendations and YouTube long form video recommendations. So basically what this means is that if you watch Fipsymon's YouTube Shorts of Pokemon trading card unboxings, you will not get recommended Fipsimon's long form videos according to
Yeah.
what this person at YouTube said,
Yeah.
because that was their fix. Now they said that it won't stay this way, but we don't know when that fix is going to come in. But for anyone who's been wondering, like, wow, I'm getting a lot of views on shorts, but they flat out refuse to watch my long form videos, supposedly that's why. That's the reason. They've decoupled it. Now, I don't know if it works in the reverse, because like I said on previous streams, I watched Ryan Trahan's series from episode 1 to 30 on his Delivering a Penny Across America. And the whole time, YouTube short shelf on my phone, on my TV, well, not on my TV, but on my phone, on my desktop, was like, look, Ryan Trahan does shorts too. It just kept putting his shorts. I would never clicked on them, and it kept putting his shorts in front of me.
Was it Ryan Trahan's channel's shorts, or just shorts about Ryan Trahan from other people?
He was just in it. I don't know. I didn't click on
Oh.
them, so I don't know where they came from. But he was definitely the subject. So YouTube was seeing that I had a sudden interest in Ryan Trahan and was giving me Ryan Trahan content in the short shelf. So I think if you can get people to watch your long form videos, you will deliver those shorts to that same audience potentially. But it doesn't work the other way around currently.
This, I think, ultimately goes back to YouTube's decision not to create a clear division between shorts and long form content, that everything is tried to be bundled together in the same app instead of having like a YouTube Shorts app, and where a channel that can create both shorts and long form content, it gets really confusing for creators. And now, you know, YouTube engineers are admitting that this has caused stress on the recommendation system. It's probably something, Dan, that one, we should have probably kept that secret for VidiQ Max. Then also we should talk about it more in VidiQ Max at some point. Really interesting conversation.
Yeah. See, VidiQ Max is something we're going to talk about more here in a little bit. But yeah, little nuggets like that, insider scoops. You're right. Maybe we should have saved it for VidiQ Max. But I think it's important.
Well.
I think giving that one away for free to, you know, just under 500 people who are here is good. So that is why we're seeing the view counts so different from these shorts to these longs. That doesn't mean you should give up on long form content. I think it just means you should probably consider, if you want, you can do more long form content. You can do one long video where you unbox a whole thing of Pokemon cards and then turn those into shorts. There's different ways you can do it.
Got a question here, Dan, just asking where the form is. I presume that both of the forms are in the video description if people want to fill it out, and the claw is going to be sinking its teeth into those channels very soon, if not now. It
is now.
Cool. All right.
This is where I should have played the intro. I apologize, but I'm not playing it again. So we have almost 300 now on both of the forums. So I did not update the claw properly. People are finding the forums in the description.
Didn't take long.
So let's go ahead and grab number 222. From the non-gaming side, that was just 22. Oh, I messed that up last week and they got mad. I messed a number and it was there was hell to pay. All right. We'll check out videos from Rage Man.
Rage.
No, it's not a gaming channel. Okay, so Rage Man is going to get us pulled off of YouTube, I think.
It looks a little suspicious here just from the clips. These may be clips from the Marvel films.
Maybe?
Maybe.
These are definitely Marvel clips.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I click on one and mute it?
I was just going to say, click on one and I'll put my hands on the screen if it is copyright, but that's not going to work, is it? That's only going to work for my screen.
I'll do this.
All right. Are you going to check in the background?
I checked in the background. All right. So you've missed the first couple of frames of it. Keep that in mind. It's dark too.
All right.
So this is a channel that I believe is doing their own edits of different Marvel clips.
Do you know if it had music, Dan, or was
it did.
Just the audio from the film itself? So
it's
okay,
copyright music.
Right. Okay. This is a tricky one, as usual, of course, because we are always going to have to struggle with a conversation of fair use and transformational content. How much have you adjusted from the original content to make it something unique that's presented to the viewer? I know there are some channels, like I've been seeing these channels recently appear when I've been having lunch, and YouTube tends to recommend me completely different stuff on my YouTube TV. It's been showing me a lot of custom trailers that people have been making for the Obi-Wan series, where they like take all of the clips, they re-edit them, they introduce some like stock foot, well, like royalty-free epic music, and then you start to wonder, is that transformational? I've also been seeing this video, Dan, called Obi-Wan had PTSD. And you think it's going to be a meme, but it's actually a really prophetic video about combining when Obi-Wan is first talking to Luke in the very first film about his experiences during the Clone Wars, and then bringing clips from the Clone Wars. And it was quite emotional. And that, that felt actually quite transformational, that they really changed the context or added something unique. Yeah. And you can tell that a lot of editing had gone into it. But does this do the same thing? And unfortunately, we're not here to answer that because we're not legal experts. And you can tell by our resistance to maybe play some of these clips that you may get hit with copyright claims. How important is that to you with shorts is another question. The videos seem to be getting some nice views.
Very consistent.
From a production point of view, they're letterboxed, so it's not a very good shorts viewing experience. Many of these, we were talking about the Pokemon channel that included like a square video at the bottom of the screen and then a landscape video at the top to fill the screen. You're obviously not doing that. But beyond that, Dan, I'm finding it a little hard to give advice just because of the nature of the content.
Yeah, there's not much we can say. Like it looks like you've taken clips from movies and you've kind of strung them together. And I'm sure when paired with the sounds that we're not going to play, it works. I'm sure it all comes together. I'm sure you're talented, and I'm sure these take work to make. We're not saying that, but when it comes to transformative content, you have to stay on the up and up with fair use. You have to do more to make that content your own. A good example, and you kind of alluded to this, a good example is let me see, Westworld season 4 recap. So this is one of my favorite shows. I don't know if do you watch Westworld?
I watched the first episodes, and I find it so impenetrable to get into, and then doesn't with each season, it almost changes completely the storyline and the characters.
It builds, but yes, it does dramatically change, especially into season 3. I love this show. Season 4 looks amazing so far, and I love it so much that I look up Westworld recaps because there's a lot of details, and I want to see what people have picked apart. It doesn't necessarily spoil anything, but some people have given some really good theories about this character, and I'm like, kind of wish I didn't watch this now because I think they're right. But in any case, these are transformative. Now, all the footage you see in these videos is from the TV show. So it's all them screen recording HBO and putting it on their channel. But they don't just do that. They take certain clips within the context of what they're saying in their script. So they stop on certain parts. They point out little details. They talk about things and they put it on the screen. To me, even if you get a copyright claim, to me, you're on the up and up because you're transforming the content. You're not just sharing, oh, I re-edited the Westworld episode 2. No, I'm going to break this down. And we don't even it's 8 minutes long. The show's an hour. So there's no possible way you can fit the entire hour's worth of episode in 8 minutes. There's a lot of, not that you did that with your movie clips, but I'm just saying there's a lot more transformation going on in recap videos than when you just kind of re-edit things. So it's something to be aware of. We can't really advise from here, but as a general, conversation, I do hope that was somewhat informative.
Yeah, it's a tough one. We do apologize. We just and we have to be honest. We have to try and protect our channel because through doing these video reviews, we do occasionally get copyright claims, and we're not too bothered about that. We don't monetize our content, but a copyright claim is one step away from a copyright strike, and obviously we don't want that.
Exactly. So I'm gonna just bump this up to 350.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep doing it, Dan.
I'm just bumping it up way higher than we need to. 256. So we're going to do a gaming channel now, and it is number 256. They do gaming memes. All right. Well, let's see. It is Bugamy, maybe. I don't know. Shorts and longs. What do you think? Should we check out a long form video?
This is a classic example here, Dan, of like where their VODs are as short as shorts, but the view counts are just completely different, which kind of supports your evidence that there's a recommendation disconnect, irrespective of the type of content.
Yep. Let's do this 2-minute one.
Yeah, all right.
It's called Don't Touch This Thing. Okay, well, I think we get the point.
Yeah, it's not okay. So you're touching this thing and you're losing health. It's taking you 12 seconds to do that.
And it doesn't look like that thing is in the rest of the video. So it's kind of interesting in terms of like the pitch of the video. And I guess the thumbnail implies that something happens with it, like a bunch of lightning and stuff, but I don't.
Yeah, just play maybe for another 10 seconds. Let's see if anything else happens. Oh, well, jump straight into a branded intro.
Definitely a meme channel. How do we help a channel like this?
Well, I was just saying, like so in the one that we watched, there were 12 seconds of this person touching this thing, which was hurting them, but there wasn't a big enough why. Why should I care? Is this because it's interesting? It's a glitch in the game? Is it entertaining? Is it funny? And in those 12 seconds, it was none of those things to me. And it didn't make me feel anything. And as soon as that branded intro appeared, that would have been the immediate. Okay.
No, that was not a branded intro.
Oh, wasn't it? What? Sorry, what was it?
I'll tell you after the stream.
Okay. Fair enough.
That was the meme. It was the joke. It was the punchline.
Am I?
I just can't.
Am I lost here?
Now that I've had to explain it, it became funny.
Is this me showing?
It wasn't funny, and then it became funny to me. So moving on from that,
okay.
It's hard to advise. But it seems like they're trying to make funny videos.
Was that from a certain website?
It was from a certain website.
Right. Okay. I didn't get it.
You didn't hear the grunting from touching the thing.
Okay.
That's what they were.
Maybe I come from a different generation where we don't think so lewd. Should we move
on to the next channel? I don't know how to advise. I think they need to keep at it. It's going to be a channel audit like title thumbnail situation, because it's like don't touch this thing. It's just not that. That's what the problem was. It wasn't necessarily their sense of humor. It was the fact that it's going to be hard to get people in the door. Give us a little bit more of a funny reason not to touch this thing in the title or the thumbnail.
You don't want to risk another one, then one of the shorts on the channel.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
No, I don't.
PG audience. That's our excuse.
That's for later. Here, let's. Should we bring that in?
Sure, I think we should.
All right. We're gonna change things up a little bit.
So I'm just trying to picture in my head what Dan has been doing this morning, because I only suggested this idea to him less than 2 hours before we went live, and he's already been able to put together that segment. It's just cheated. Like, Dan, I don't think you should be the whatever title you've got now, which is executive senior producer or whatever it is. You should just be VP of live stream skits or whatever we want to call it.
Your idea inspired me.
It's just like
I
I
was
can imagine. I send you a message in Slack, and then Dan reads it and says, "Oh, that's an idea. Oh, I'm gonna drop everything else for 2 hours."
I was standing over the stove making lunch, and like you sent me that and sent me the clip. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And so I put the lunch in. I'm like, well, I got some time, and so I very quickly threw that together.
Oh dear.
It was fun.
Anyway, what is this? What are we doing?
It's the wheel. Did you not see the thing?
It is the wheel of
I called it wheel of content.
video reviews. Okay, wheel of content. I just wasn't paying attention. I just started laughing. We should also credit as well online/stopwatch.com where we use this for multiple things now.
Yeah. I thought you were going to keep talking. I took a sip of coffee.
No,
So
sorry. I went to sip for some water as well.
the wheel of content. The way this works is the next channel who we pick. We're gonna. Here's the thing. We found that we give a lot of the same advice 2 hours into the stream, 1 hour into the stream, really. So we're gonna have this tell us what specifically to look for in the next channel. Like what, should we look at the editing? Should we look at the script that was written? What is it about this? Because by the end of this live stream, you're going to get a very full picture of the different things we think go into a good video. So let's try it. Let's try it out. So I'm going to spin the wheel of content.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to get script, and then it's going to be a music channel.
It is script.
Okay, that's part one.
The next was a non-gaming channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was a non-gaming channel. Yeah. So we'll go to the claw. Now we have the wheel and the claw working in tandem. I thought about making, like one of those like 80s buddy cop shows. I thought it'd be really cool if I was really good. I could make the claw and the wheel like partners, Number 94.
Like Joey's mac and cheese on Friends.
Yeah. Okay, it's Tony's Kitchen. It was not a music channel.
Right. So I guess what we're paying attention to here is what they're saying.
Yes, we're specifically looking at the script. Is what do we think about what was written in this video?
Not necessarily what was written, but what's being said. If they haven't scripted it,
how is it being presented?
Yeah. All right.
Are you tired of boring old potatoes that don't improve your love life or make you rich? Do greasy chips and gnarly crumbs leave you wanting something better? There's gotta be a better way. Introducing zucchini chips, the lean green money-making machine that'll have you where you want to be in no time. And cut.
Wait, but these aren't even chips. This is just a raw zucchini. What am I supposed to do with this? Hello?
It's morphin time. Zucchini power. Go. All right, that's enough of those.
Okay. I definitely wrote a script.
Definitely. That's definitely scripted. Very, very thought out.
Mm-hmm. As a hook, I thought that was pretty good. Definitely different than a lot of the cooking channels I've seen.
Yeah. I felt it dragged a bit. Like, I guess you would class that as your opening comedy skit, and that took 30 seconds, which felt a little long. When I've been speaking to Leron about this, actually, he's been always trying to beat this out of me a little bit, like less of a humor and jokes at the very beginning. Don't get me wrong, the personality is fantastic, and you experimenting, trying to be funny, I would always encourage you to do that. But because the person clicked on this thumbnail expecting zucchini chips, are they going to get through that first joke? And I don't know. And again, I don't want you to stop doing this because of what I'm about to say. I don't think that the joke or the comedy was strong enough, but that will get better over time as you make more videos. But for this one, it was because it was at the very beginning, it really has to deliver, and it just didn't, unfortunately. But having said that, the fact that you scripted it, you did a voiceover, you were almost like there was like the person on camera who was a character, and then the voiceover was a character itself. That's all promising in terms of trying to tell stories in the long term.
Mm-hmm. I do appreciate the writing. Yeah, I think when you say it didn't land, I really think it was about delivery, and again, that is just practice. I think it was a really cool way to introduce a cooking video. That said, I'm gonna go off script of the topic of script for a little bit, and just pose this question: if you, audience, were hungry for zucchini chips and you saw this thumbnail and you click on this video, would you skip the first 30 seconds? Of
Yeah.
the video?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm wondering, like, if you just went to the YouTube editor and then just sliced out that first segment and then just played it from here. Should we do it? Should we just pretend as if a video starts now and see
Yeah.
what happens?
So 30, I think, yeah, 31 seconds is
Yeah.
what we were on.
All right, that's enough of those shenanigans. So let's get down to business and talk zucchinis. They are in season right now. They're crisp, they're delicious. So let's turn these bad boys into some chips. So I'm going to start by cutting off the ends of these, and I'm choosing to
So if you
cut.
pause it there, that was like a really good, tight, narrated intro. Imagine if there was just one, we're going off script, but imagine if you brought in like almost like a 1 or 2 second B-roll of the finished zucchini chips as you were doing the narration there. That would have been like a really tight, excellent start to the video.
Yeah, I think so. I the reason I pitched that question was because I'm just imagining when I'm looking for a recipe on YouTube, I'm usually standing in my kitchen already.
Mm.
And that's important because that means I'm like ready to make something. It's lunchtime, it's dinner time, and I'm trying to make something new. Making new things intimidates me. I'm probably going to screw it up somehow. And when I screw things up in the kitchen, I get frustrated because I'm the one that has to clean it up. So I want a video that's going to be kind of like jump right into it and kind of like make it easy for me to understand this new recipe that I'm tackling. So I would have skipped the first 30 seconds. Despite it being funny, despite it looking like, as the creator, like you had a lot of fun making that, I would have skipped it into no hard feelings situation. I'm just in my kitchen, everything's ready, and I'm just trying to make my zucchini chips. So my suggestion in that case, and let your retention be your guide. Don't listen to our just opinions. Look at your retention. Do you notice when you do cold opens that you lose a bunch of people? If that's the case, my suggestion to you is literally do the video and put this at the end.
Are you tired of boring old potatoes that don't?
Like, do like a color bar, like beep, like cut, and then so the video's over, like, and enjoy your zucchini chips, beep, and then this starts. So, and then maybe with some music or something just to liven it up a little bit, but and use it as an outro instead. So the people who your biggest fans, the people who are happy with you the most, your returning viewers, they get a little treat for staying to the end of the video.
Can we just go back to 40 seconds and play from there, Dan, again for another 20 seconds?
To cut these by hand. Obviously, if you have a slicer or a mandolin, this is made very simple and it'll keep them uniform. But I like to just run through it by hand, try and keep them uniform. You don't want to go too thin because it'll be kind of flimsy and greasy. Not too thick because then they're more like fritters. So I try to go just for about this thickness and then come out with the perfect.
Okay, bite. So I guess what I was trying to find out there was that were they going to try and inject any more moments of humor, or because I guess that very first 30 seconds, there was only one thing in there, and that was trying to have a comedy moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you've completed that, now we're just into the full educational. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. This is everything you need to know. So there was a very clear division between the creator trying to be unique and the creator trying to educate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that I try and do as much as possible in our content. While the education is always the most important and delivering value, if I find any opportunities to insert a quick piece of comedy or humor, which is, it's almost like just a flash of it just zooms past so fast you don't even notice it. Again, and we're not going to watch the next 6 minutes to try and find out if this creator's done that.
Right.
It's clear that this creator doesn't just want to educate; they want to experiment with a bit of fun and entertainment in their content. And is there any of that? So you found one bit there. What is that? Yeah.
You choose to use. But now that these are nice, hot, and crispy, let's talk sauces. Hey.
See, stuff like that's fine.
Stuff like that. That's cool. That's just a nice light moment. It doesn't interrupt. It's 1 second. It's almost like a concentration interrupt, or a pattern interrupt. You're just adding something a little extra in there.
Yeah. That stuff's cool. And I think you could do that. Here's the thing, like I've been doing this all day. I'm sorry, but it's another aside. Okay. When we sit up here and we give like advice to channels and stuff, I kind of wonder if we speak too generally sometimes. You know what I mean? Like we tell people, oh, you really need a strong hook. See if you can hook people in the video, do something funny, do something interesting. What we don't say all the time, and not because we don't know this, but just because it kind of slips our minds in the moment, certain types of content, you can't fit the same recipe for the same exact style of video or same content, different content. Sorry, maybe I need more coffee today. You can't take the same exact structure for every video across YouTube. You can't do Mr. Beast style intros for every single video, right? Like it just doesn't work. And I think for this channel, that's what we're seeing. I think they've taken the advice of like, I'm going to do something that no other cooking channel is doing. I'm going to do something really unique and funny. And for us, just you and I, we were like, interesting, but not for us. And it's because when we look at these, I don't know about you, but I kind of put myself in the shoes of, okay, I am currently somebody looking to make zucchini chips. That's who I am right now. So I'm going to click on this video pretending to be that person. Is that person satisfied when they get into the video? And I didn't feel that. I felt like I need to kind of get to the point. My oil's starting to get hot. Like I have to make these zucchini chips. So
can you imagine like they're watching that intro and as he's talking about doing the joke, and then behind the alarm starts going off, beep beep beep. Like, oh, come on, and then the sprinklers kick in. I need to stop cooking.
The water's getting the oil. It's splashing all over your back while you're just trying to watch the video.
Fire brigades arrives. Just by the end of it, you're just still sat there on your mobile phone, and everything else is just burnt down around you.
And that's how you make zucchini chips. Perfect. Just turn around. The kitchen's destroyed. Anyway,
should we get back to the title as well? Zucchini chips.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's a rest. What are the rest of the titles like? Just out of interest, is it literally just?
They took the simplicity of the titles to that level, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a starting point. It's simple, but how about spring rolls for idiots, or spring rolls for people who can't cook? Spring rolls in 5 minutes. Spring rolls for $3 or less. Try to think about a unique selling point of the videos that you're making.
Now, you might be thinking, how the heck am I supposed to do that for every single video? That's absurd, Rob. Like you're just gonna have me sit there and think of like, I put zucchini chips. Is that not enough for you? Well, don't worry. If you have VidiQ installed, you can use our AI title recommendations.
You're teasing a video that I'm releasing next week here, Dan.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, it's fine. Here, we'll go to a super old video.
It's a Ryan Trahan one that you can. We've got two versions of it. No, don't do that one. Jeez.
What? I'm not going to ruin it. What do you?
I know. Right, scroll back up to the top.
Here, I'm gonna do this. You can use it in the title while you're editing your video, or you can go on app.vidiq.com. And I'm just gonna make sure it's in the right place before I bring it on the screen here, because let's see, I want it to be the correct channel. All right.
I've made this a lot harder than it should be for Dan.
No, it's fine.
Oh, well.
It's fine. Okay. If you go to app.vidiq.com, you can use it here without interrupting any of your videos.
Imagine if you've not uploaded the video at this point. You're looking for ideas. You've got an idea. You want to turn it into a potential title, which could help direct you make the content. Yes.
Now, I accidentally lost the channel we were looking at. So what was the... you said spring rolls.
Spring rolls, yeah.
Okay, so I've made a video about spring rolls, and the only title I can think of is spring rolls. So I'm going to hit get title ideas after typing that in. What is a spring roll? How to make the perfect spring roll?
How to make a perfect one. There you go. The best way to make them. 4 ways to make them. All right.
Yes.
The healthy veggie stuffed roll you're not doing. Interesting. I'll probably tweak that one, but I do like that. Something more engaging and exciting.
We want your titles to be short, but we also want them to be clickable. And to make a clickable title, sometimes you need a little bit of intrigue. You need to kick in the pants a little bit. You got spring rolls in there. That's the best part of the title. Now you need what about spring rolls? So that's where this comes in. And if you don't like those and you're a Boost user, you can generate new titles. Spring rolls, the easy way to make homemade spring rolls. I wouldn't put spring rolls twice, but I would have said spring rolls easy and homemade or something like that.
I like the middle one where you could capitalize. This is the recipe.
Yep.
for the capitalized. Perfect spring rolls.
Yep. All caps, all caps. What's the best way to make spring rolls? 5 reasons why you shouldn't stop eating spring rolls, which is kind of funny. I love this tool so much. It's so great. So this, again, same exact functionality, whether you're on your YouTube video editing, while you're in YouTube editing your video, or while you're in app.vidiq.com. So there you go. Another reason to give VidiQ, link down below, 30 days free, blah, blah, blah. It's the best tool ever.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right. That's how I plug things now. So the wheel sent us on a bit of a roller coaster there.
That was all right, actually. It wasn't too bad. I think we covered a lot there.
We did. I think so too. So what we're gonna do is pick a gaming channel out of the. Now I got to update this again. 400. I'm just gonna go for broke here, and it's 89. So we're gonna pick gaming channel number 89. It is YNZS football short stuff / shorts. Okay, football stuff.
Is this a gaming channel, right?
/ shorts. Yes.
Right.
And then we have the channel here. We see some videos, and we should probably determine first, are we going to watch any of these videos? It's another channel taking clips that probably aren't theirs.
Yeah.
And we don't know if they're doing a lot of transformation. I don't know if the wheel is going to be of use to us on this one.
I agree.
What about this 2-minute video here?
Sure. This looks like a FIFA-y thing.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a few players that could have massive disgrades, I think it's called. Downgrades.
So I'm going to pause it there because I noticed your first problem. We didn't edit down the intro. It's okay to kind of go without a script, right? And just, hey, welcome back. Today we're doing this. But when you're having trouble kind of like thinking of the name of things, you don't need to kind of expose yourself in the video. What you should be doing is cutting. You can at the very least jump cut it. You don't need to like hit stop and re-record and fumble around with that. Because you're not on the screen, it's very easy to jump cut and no one would probably even notice. So that's what I would have done there.
Yeah, you're certainly not alone in fumbling around with the right word to say at times, making mistakes, ums and ahs. We all do it. And the secret is in hiding that from the viewer, which is done through the edit.
Yeah. So that is their first critique there of this. But let's watch just a little bit more.
By FIFA 23. So number 1, Harry Maguire at the moment he's 84, but we do know his season was absolutely horrendous. He was part of that Man United defense that absolutely collapsed.
Pause. I think also the creator at this point in their YouTube journey is maybe lacking a little bit of confidence, not necessarily in front of camera, but behind the microphone. And yeah, as PC player says here, the voice sounds quiet. But I think on top of that, it just sounds like a lack of conviction or confidence. When I listen to what you're saying, it doesn't sound to me like you feel confident in what you're saying.
Yeah.
And again, you're not alone in this. I want to give you full credit for you being behind a microphone as opposed to a robot voice, because that could fix it in the short term. But over time, you're going to build confidence and be able to speak better behind a microphone and then potentially in front of camera. So I want to applaud you for doing that now, and just keep working at it because you will get better at it.
Yeah. When you do speak with a little more confidence, I would also worry about the room you're in. It kind of sounds like you're in a garage. Just like I'm trying to think of the most echoey. Do you hear that, or is it just me?
Just play it a bit more. It does sound odd.
So we've gone with an 80.
Yeah, all right. There's a bit of an echo there.
It also sounds like you're holding a microphone, like rubbing your fingers on it or something. Because I hear this creaking, like maybe it's a gaming headset and you're holding the. And yeah, that lack of confidence makes it sound like you're trying to make sure your housemates don't know you're making any YouTube videos. Like it's that kind of like that hits the audience. They notice that, and it just feels like if they want to learn about you know, the players getting downgrades in FIFA 23, then they might need to go somewhere else, because I have to, even though my volume's up and I'm wearing headphones, I still have to lean in to kind of understand you, because that lack of confidence means you're lacking enunciation as well. So it's something to work on. It takes practice. My first videos ever were like this. I you know, I was very young. I didn't want my parents to know that I was making silly Minecraft videos. And so I talked really quiet, like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, you know, and it took a while for me to go, you know what, whatever, just speak up.
This is a good example of where when audio doesn't sound right, it's really, really noticeable. And that's what we're getting caught up on in terms of projection of voice and level of the audio, the volume level, which are two things that we're getting wrapped around on this. Also, as well, I think they've used our subscribe button. You know, the watermark in the bottom right corner.
Oh yeah,
that's a free download, by the way. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We do offer that as a free download. I just can't remember which videos it's on. So thanks for using it.
Yeah, as for the title and stuff, I think I would have just emphasized a little bit more. It was uploaded July 3rd. It could still get picked up too, but these players will get massive downgrades. I would have like all caps to those in FIFA 20, you know, in FIFA 23. I like what you're going for it with the titles ultimately.
Also, look at the thumbnail where Cristiano's stats have gone from 87, 88 to 0, but you can just barely see that on the blown up thumbnail.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I hate when it does that. That's, you can see the zeros on this big thumbnail, but it's hard. I didn't even notice that. I was going to point out the thumbnail seemed vague to me, but now I see what you were going for. I've seen people with these cards and not really know how to use them in their thumbnails, but you can literally take both cards, fill the screen with both, and like you can even cut off part of their heads if you're trying to show the stats and it's the same name. Put them side by side, angle them a little bit, and then show the stats, you know, from for a bunch of numbers to a bunch of zeros. Like, you don't need the arrow, you don't need the dislike thing, you don't need the field in the back. Just literally like blow those up as big as possible. Really fill the space with those thumbnails. You have so much negative space here. So your point is not getting across. But it was a good attempt. I think you have the right idea.
Yeah.
It was execution.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we can't really comment on the other clips on the channel because, as I said, they look as if they may be okay. So the static images, but all right. So that's
video.
Yeah. So there's a clip. Is it transformational? I know you've probably seen countless channels with football clips and wonder, well, they get away with it. Why can't I? And okay, we're not going to tell you not to do that. Just warn you that it is ultimately somebody's copyrighted content. But at the same token, how do these football clips relate to the FIFA card, you know, the game FIFA? I know it's the same interest. Like, I'm a soccer fan. I watch football, but I have no interest in FIFA. Whereas I'm sure there are others who are really interested in playing the video game FIFA, but perhaps not as interested in the greatest of all time players in London.
Yeah. I think there's a disconnect. The assumption that people who watch FIFA also play the games is what's coming in here when you think about the target audience for the channel. But yeah, so there's some tips for you. Good luck. You know, we're an hour into the stream now, and we did mention this earlier, but it's about time we talk about VidiQ Max.
Oh yeah,
in a minute. VidiQ Max, if you didn't know, is our newest service here at VidiQ, where you can join and have access to a whole community full of YouTubers just like you at various stages of their YouTube journey, and access to our own YouTube experts. Not just access 24/7 in a private Discord for VidiQ Max users, but access to them via regular bi-monthly presentations. Bi-monthly is twice a month, right? Twice a month, there are presentations on various YouTube topics. There are special guests that come in, and there are some incredible tips and tricks that you learn, and you get the opportunity to ask questions as well. The first part is a presentation on these, presentations that are done twice a month, and then the rest of it is Q&A. So if you have a question, it will get answered. if you're in this group and you want your questions answered. It's really hard for us to do stuff like that during these live streams. We can only, give so many people our undivided attention, but that's why we created VidiQ Max. There's a lot more we can say about it, but that is, of course, the biggest perk. And on top of that, sometimes we go in there and we give you a little bit extra. And today, that little bit extra is in the form of a whole separate video review form that we put in, today. So yeah, this was somebody who submitted on that form earlier, and we're going to review their channel. They are a VidiQ Max student. So let's check it out.
Hey, Gwen, let's see what you got to offer.
Created by Gwen. Yeah, so they sent us this video specifically. So I went ahead and just grabbed it, and we'll see what we have.
Congratulations on 2,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Hey creative friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today with another scrapbooking process video. For today's share, I am using the stunning new collection Storyteller by Coco Vanilla Studio, and I'm going to show you how a single sticker can inspire a brand new layout. I'll be documenting this photo and I'm using a cut to you.
So it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, so can you just play the first 10 seconds again? So was this isn't related to the video, is it? Or is it?
It is.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
You can kind of see the transformation.
Yeah, I see that now. I still don't. Would that have been better with a voiceover as opposed to music?
I think so.
Because it was music and it was static images, I just automatically went into branded intro mode as I was watching it, which is why I needed to watch it again. I thought this intro was really good.
Yes.
And I like the cute waving at the camera with a hand, like these disembodied hands still acknowledging the viewer, which I thought was quite cute. And then just what she rattled off in the first 10 to 15 seconds felt like it was very succinct, very concise, told us exactly what we're going to get. There was a tiny bit of B-roll in there as well for the final product, and all of that I really liked.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the extra effort there when I'm using this, and you took the time to actually like film this before you opened it up, and probably got everything out of the nice looking packaging. So I appreciated that forethought there. And it looks like as we kind of scroll through, I noticed one camera change or maybe interrupt, but it does seem like for the most part it just stays in this top-down view of your hands and everything kind of coming together. I agree. By the way, with the front, I think instead of music, if you would have said, so imagine this is playing, right? There's no music. And then behind it, you hear the creator.
Hey creative friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today with another scrapbooking process video. For today's share, I am using the stunning new collection Storyteller.
So that is where like this B-roll could come in on top of so you have the finished product, and as soon as you say Storyteller, this comes in. So it does get rid of like the hand wave and things like that, which is charming, but I think it helps with the very, very, very first few seconds where it kind of feels like when you get into these branded intros where it's just music and things happening, it kind of feels like, how long is this going to be? You have that temptation to skip ahead. So you get rid of that right away because you're already talking, the content, everything is already started.
Can we jump to a minute in, Dan? So like we're like say we're into the meat and potatoes of the video. Just play it for 30 seconds.
And that's going to create some space in the bottom section for my photo.
Okay, so it looks like it's been sped up, which is good.
These beautiful fussy cut florals. Yes, I sat down and...
So I think that would be an opportunity where you could do a bit of a pattern interrupt and zoom in to how she was positioning the picture. Just go to the quality, Dan. Let's just check what the quality of the video is. Is it 1080 max?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that this creator should go out and buy a 4K video, a 4K camera, just so they can do crop-ins with detail. Because I still don't do that. I still record in 1080 and snap in, but I guess the detail isn't as important for my recordings. And then, what do you reckon to the lighting? I think
I've been struggling with that.
It's very good. Like, it's very well lit. But I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a white balance or a color grading.
Yes.
Something is just a little off.
It's
maybe.
something is off. It has, I don't want to say hazy. It has, you know what it is? I would have bumped the contrast on this. I think I would have bumped it up quite a bit. And I thought would have seen if that added any depth to any of the colors, because it just feels flat. It just feels very, very flat, and also a little tiny bit dark. I would have bumped the exposure up. I would have white balanced on this card because it's probably perfectly white. So I would have used the white balance tool in my editing software to white balance on the card just to be sure. And then I would have played with the lighting settings in my editor, and I would have you don't want to bump on this type of content. You don't want to move the saturation too much, because this stuff is supposed to have like a certain vibe. And if you oversaturate it, it's not going to look as advertised. But when you compare this to, let me go back. Well, first of all, to the intro, which it does look more vibrant.
Yeah.
And then when you say today we're using this collection, and we see that B-roll we talked about earlier. Where is it? Come on.
Oh, it's, I think you've gone past it. It's very near the beginning. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know what you're saying.
It's brighter. It's like more vibrant. Right here. Look at that. It's different a little bit. So that is missing throughout your video here. And one thing you can do if you're ever, this is for anybody, because some of you are not scrapbookers, I imagine. If you ever are wondering, my videos sometimes look like the white balance is off. Literally, when you're recording, get a white piece of paper and hold it in front of your camera for a few seconds and then put it down. And your camera can have auto white balance functionality, but if you've turned that off and put it in manual like you should go into your editor after the fact and white balance on that card, and then proceed with your edit. That's just a hot tip for you.
And again, I want to stress that we are nitpicking, because for most people, the lighting would be the problem that needs to be fixed first. But this is very well lit. You can tell by the shadows on the hands are like, you can tell there's a couple of different light sources, or a very powerful light source directly above the camera, which is just filling the entire frame with an even amount of light.
Yeah. So again, this is one of our VidiQ Max students, and I think they're doing an excellent job. 8-minute video, clear and to the point. And I think the thumbnail's okay. I think it is hard to see what this is, but that's why there's a circle and an arrow. Not too bad. A little busy.
I think it's because they're doing thumbnail experimentation, Dan. If you go back to their channel, we did, I think when we did a channel audit, we did criticize their existing thumbnails as being somewhat text heavy.
I see. So there's been a bit of you think there's been a bit of a transformation recently?
Just in the latest thumbnail, you can tell that they've tried to circle it, put an arrow, less text, and not as white. It was more of a pastel background.
Yeah.
It's experimentation. I think that's cool.
So you audited this channel very recently. Now we're doing a video review. And that's because this person's in VidiQ Max. They get that extra opportunity sometimes to throw themselves into the ring. That is just one little extra perk. That's not even like a promised perk of VidiQ Max. Of course, there are regular sessions, and then there are irregular sessions. What I mean by that is almost every week, there's been a full-blown VidiQ Max sit-down with everybody who's invited. And if you join now, there is a channel in the Discord. You got to join that Discord. That's where a lot of the value is. But there's a channel in that Discord that houses all of the past sessions. So you can join today. You don't have to wait to get into one of those sessions. They're all there. It's insane. There's so much value.
Now, Dan, while you were putting together that excellent spin the wheel clip, I was putting together some testimonials of people who've been experiencing VidiQ Max. And so here we have one here from Mock Nix, who I remember we actually did a video audit for them a couple of weeks ago. And I think they were doing like a VTubing type editing, which was like really cool. And, this is one of the Discord messages that they went to one of Alex's sessions. Alex is just like the Jedi guru mind master of YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was freaking pumped after watching it. Max for life. It zoomed out. That's unfortunate. Leandro 37 here saying that they would have possibly closed down their channel if it wasn't for the support and encouragement they're getting from fellow VidiQ Max members, because as much as it is a place for advice from very experienced coaches, it's also a place for other creators to share their knowledge and encouragement. I mean, Journey and Power Dragon, they are like the resident Max counselors almost. They're in there like 24/7 helping out. And I do just have one more here, and that is also from Leandro, and they said about the Discord channel. The Discord channel itself is an amazing investment just because of how much value there is there. So yeah, VidiQ Max, we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep encouraging you to take your YouTube education and channels to the next level if you are able to afford it. We appreciate it's not for everyone. That's why as soon as we finish talking about VidiQ Max here, we're going to go straight back to auditing your content and channels for absolutely free.
Now, you know, those messages that you just put up, people can go in the Discord if they're in there and they can search for those. Like, those are still there. Like, those are real things that people are saying about VidiQ Max.
I may have tweaked some of the messaging a little bit, like where it said like our or me or something. I've changed it to you. Like, just
you made them look good. You
yeah.
You gave them a generous edit, which was nice of you. So all that's there. People are taking their hobbies, potentially turning them into businesses, but ultimately people are going to VidiQ Max with a goal, and those goals are becoming reality. So link is down below. Join today. All right, let's bring back in the claw. We're going to select a gaming channel from our random list, which, by the way, is creeping towards 400 submissions.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Should we spin the wheel on this one?
All right, we're going to spin the wheel on this one. So it's channel 190 in the gaming form. 190. That's a much bigger number. There we go. And then, so they're doing casual gaming, tutorial / news. I think this is a perfect channel for the wheel. So what aspect? Oh, the script is gone now. All right, wheel.
It removes it. Oh, all right.
Cheeky wheel. All right, that's fine.
Fair enough. I don't mind that.
Fair enough, wheel. We're not going to use it every time anyway. Editing. So we're going to specifically focus on this person's video editing style.
Yeah.
When we get into their channel here. So, all right, I got the link. I got the channel. And it is NYL Casual Gaming. All right. I guess we should look.
Has any channel ever called themselves Serious Gaming? It just makes, because I see casual gaming as a channel name often. Like, well, who just takes it super seriously? Like, there's no fun to be had here. I'm just going to play this game. Serious
this
Gaming.
Person, Serious Gaming. They have 6 months ago was their last upload, so I don't think they're taking it as serious as they used to.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress as usual.
Bit of a vacuum in the serious gaming space, everybody. In case you were interested,
there's a niche.
All right, overpowered trickster build for Outriders World Slayer.
Yeah, look at this one, 15,000 views. All right,
this one. Oh wow.
Yeah, for 2,000 subscribers.
All right, so starting at 0 seconds here. Let's watch for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Outriders. The trickster build I'm going to show you today will allow you to beat the hardest content in the game on easy mode. It excels at solo play and when facing large groups of enemies. It is incredibly tanky and as close to unkillable as you can get. And even against the solo bosses of Tyro Guitar, it has no real problems. Let's get into it with a look at the build and why it works so well, including a few things that will take your damage to ridiculous levels. At its core, this is a trickster tank build that uses the military to buff shield.
So that was basically the intro. It says what the build does.
Yep.
I'm glad they didn't use the word intro. That's great. And then we're showing the tree. Okay, what did we think? What did we think of that editing when we got in there?
I thought that was very, very, very good. Maybe even excellent. This is the gaming channel, Dan. And the creator didn't waste any time introducing themselves. It wasn't a branded intro. They had that big block of text at the very beginning. Then they had some clips that just appeared on screen. They had lower thirds, although the lower thirds were boring in the top right hand corner. Some of the lower thirds had YouTube icons on them. I felt it was a bit weird. I don't know why they were there, because I thought they were going to end up being social handles or subscribe to channel lower thirds. Maybe you want to use like a tip icon of some kind, of a green tick or something, or a map icon if you're exploring a map. But I'm nitpicking at this point. I think he basically told us, like, this is what the video is about. This is what we're going to go through. Half an hour, 30 seconds doing that. Let's get in there.
It wasn't very casual, Robert.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true, actually.
I agree.
It was hardcore. Yeah, it was very serious.
That is for people who are like ready to min-max their experience in Outriders. That's anything but casual. I completely agree. I thought that was awesome. The only thing, and again, like, what are we giving this? Like a 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, close to like a 9 out of 10. The only thing I think would have pushed this over, other than the YouTube icons for the tips, would have been the energy level of the commentator. Just one more notch. It was like so close, but I feel like the music and the energy that they were giving there was a tiny bit of a disconnect.
Outriders. The tricks to build I'm going to show you today will allow you to beat the hardest content.
No, actually, I take that back.
Well, no, carry on. So it's good at that point. Keep going.
Yeah. In the game on easy mode. It excels at solo play and when facing large groups of enemies. It is incredibly tanky and as close to unkillable as you can.
On second listening, Dan, I think actually they've got the cadence and the voice pretty much spot on there.
Yeah, my memory was not serving me well there. I think that was pretty good. So yeah, overall, really strong, really strong stuff. I don't think we could have picked a better example for like a gaming channel edit, honestly, from that random form.
Shall we jump into like 2 minutes in and then just see if it keeping up the same pace or the pace has changed? Because I suspect that maybe this creator front loaded their efforts, which is good. You want to put more time and effort into the thumbnail, title, and intro to get them hooked on the content. Is that maintained 2 minutes in?
Second tier to a top tier debuff. Time Rift also deals damage with a little bit of pain. This was nerfed, but it still puts out some nice damage that will finish off non-elites, and with long range it is very effective. Finally, through pain transfer, it gives the trickster some really good AoE damage. The other thing that Time Rift does...
It slowed down a little bit, like the gameplay in the background. I haven't seen that changed at all. And if you were going to go to the next level, you'd probably find clips that connect with your script. Like when we reviewed Journey's videos a couple of weeks ago, Dan, I noticed that they were really considering their on-screen A roll. But they've the way they're getting around this is to have these static screenshots that relate to what they're talking about. So I think that requires less time and effort and kind of achieves the same thing. But maybe in the future, if you want to go all in and be really serious about the edit, you might want to try and think about the clips that really match what you're commentating on. But I know from experience that would take a lot longer than the way you're currently doing it.
It didn't impact the views, which is important. I've definitely cut that corner when making gaming videos. If I feel like this is going to add several like minutes, hours, days to my edit, I'm just going to go ahead and like find other ways to reference what I'm saying without killing myself. So I totally respect that as someone who has made similar content. But I see what you're saying. Like there can always be more. They can always take their energy up a notch if they want to. They can always add more and more to their edit if they want to. And that's where we're at right now. This person's so good. I think that's where we're at. It's just like, well, if we want to suggest some improvements, I guess here you go. But it's great job. I want to see how they do their outro. They did a summary.
Yeah.
Tanky build. This is just overpowered damage output. I just hope PCF don't find out about this one. If you do want to see what all of the changes were to mods in Worldslayer, check out this video here.
There we go. So all right, there was a big subscribe lower third that appeared, but you weren't wasting time telling people to click it. Or
Yeah.
anything. You were still talking about your video, and your outro call to action to watch another video was about 3 or 4 seconds. Maybe, I mean, if I was going to nitpick, it perhaps wasn't strong enough. I think there could have been a little bit more convincing, a little bit more time spent on it. But again, very, very good.
Yeah. This is that we've been telling people to do exactly this for like weeks and weeks and weeks now. So if I'm a Outriders viewer, right, and I just got all that value, I would say this video is relevant to the one I just watched, and that's what you want. You want to throw to a relevant video, and you want to give me a reason to. And they slipped it in there beautifully. It was, if you want to see all the things that were nerfed, click on this video here. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. I would have changed the position of this video. I think they were trying to include more of the tree here. I would have just, I don't know, it's weird. In terms of like the rule of thirds, it's just kind of in a weird spot. I would have put it, I don't know, in the middle or somewhere closer to here. This is all I can do is split hairs because this person did a fantastic job.
So if we go back to the channel just for a moment, Dan, I just want to see if this is a complete outlier for this channel, or
3K,
4K. You know, some the shorts aren't doing well. This is kind of like an opposite, an inverse. Usually the shorts do a lot better than the VODs, but in this case, the VODs seem to be doing much better than the shorts.
Big thumbnail evolution. Like going from these to these, I'm kind of confused as to why you tried these for a minute. Oh, it's like a news video.
So this latest video done at the release has got like 15,000 views, which seems like still quite an outlier. I mean, I think I played Outriders for a while, and it was good, and then all of a sudden the learning curve just kicked up a notch, and I got frustrated and quit. I'm trying to remember if tricksters are a class of character, and how you could almost like make a series of videos, whether that be on the trickster class or overpowered weapons or overpowered enemies. You know, very similar 5-minute deal, riffing on the format and idea of that content, because it's clearly worked in the last 5 days for excellent results.
Yeah. Congrats on 15,000 views.
Yeah.
Introduced a lot of new people to your channel there, and keep it up. I think I wouldn't sweat the shorts too much. You know, yeah, it's great to do shorts. It's great to like add that if that's something you want to do. I would say these look, I don't even know if this is the same game or not. I would just say they look way different than what it is you're doing in these videos here. And it might not be.
I think they are. I think there's a new mod coming out, or like a DLC, like World Slayer.
I see.
I can't remember that being part of the game when I was playing it last year.
Yeah. So it just, yeah, I think I wouldn't be too bothered by the short performance personally. I believe that they've tested it. They've been trying to hype this this new game, but yeah, it may not be right for shorts, and that's okay. Epic moments from live streams make for great shorts, and it looks like you're using a face cam too, so that's even better. You can now you can put the epic moment and your reaction in the same short window.
750 views for a live stream with 2,500 subscribers isn't too shabby either. I'm guessing there was like 10, 20, 30 people watching concurrently when it was live.
Yeah, that's some solid concurrent viewership for sure. So well done. Great channel. All right.
Just get more serious about this.
Yeah, get rid of this. This is not you. Okay, let's pick a non-gaming channel. We're over 400 now.
Goodness gracious.
I don't even know what to say at this point about that. Here we go. Everyone giggle. Number 8. Look at that. Number 8 on the form. Facts narrated.
All right. So the first question in my head, Dan, can you guess what it is? Like when we first start listening to this video.
Are they going to be narrating with a robot voice?
Yes, that's what's going to be top of mind, but they are shorts. So maybe that is a get out of jail free card for me, but maybe
No.
not for Dan.
I'm a swipe away.
Yeah.
I hear that robot voice. I'm gone.
Jet skiing is a really cool water
Dun, dun, dun,
sport.
dun. But just keep playing it. For a second.
Why though? No.
Because
Nearby sea areas. Then you must have tried it. These water jets are run at high speeds on waters, and
Does-
sometimes it also flips
does
and
it not
stops
also sound
moving.
like really
You ever tried-
bad quality AI voice as well? As
How
if
did
it's
you
like
do
it's
that? Yeah, I
a
don't
little
know.
distorted.
It sounded like you put a bag over his head. Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
These sports always wears a life jacket. But in July 2019, a guy named Jerry Device bought this jet and went straight into oceans. What's wrong was that he didn't had any life jackets to wear. Also, he didn't.
Do you hear how hard it is to like understand it?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I want to follow the story, but it's really hard to understand because it just isn't doing a great job with the text.
So, first of all, if you want to continue using an AI voice, find a better sounding one.
Yeah.
Would be my first advice. Let's play another one down just to see if that is a symptom of all of their contents.
This is a clip of a military training where soldiers
So
are
it is.
practicing for their parades.
Yeah. There could have been something that happened there because it's horrifying, so I clicked away.
Didn't want to see that. Yep.
So what about when they do 10 most famous cartoons? So like a top 10 video or something. Is it the same deal?
You must have watched animated movies.
It is.
Even most.
Guys, y'all, like, get a mic or hire. You can get people to do voiceover for you for short scripts at a pretty affordable rate on places like Fiverr and Upwork. And you can get a regular person, like a person you use regularly, to do that. Like, it is a thing people do if you don't want to put your voice on videos, but it is cheaper to just get a mic and put your voice on the videos. It's so impersonal. It's hard if you're coming to us and saying like, well, why aren't I growing? It's because when people hear that voice, it's like, to some of us, to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like, I clicked on this. There was something, no one else had a video on this subject I was looking up the other day, and this person had a video on it, but it was that voice. I tried really hard to get this information. It wasn't even that long of a video, and the voice kept messing up on the words that were fed to it. And I got so fed up, I'm like, nope, never mind. I'll Google it or something. It's that disruptive to me and like my enjoyment of videos.
Yeah, I can't disagree, but at the same time, I tried to think of like the creators' current plights. Like maybe they don't have a mic, or then we audited that channel earlier on where there was a person who was clearly getting into trying to speak.
Yeah,
and it didn't sound that good. And so, this is the natural, obvious, easy alternative. And this is certainly going to be better in the short term. But if you do dedicate yourself to doing narration, practicing, speaking, writing scripts that fit your voice and character, like the Outriders channel that we just looked at, that person had a really unique voice and style that we really enjoyed. And that is the other thing. If you use a robot voice, especially in the YouTube universe, you're removing one of the things that makes you unique. Whereas in TikTok, it's very much a broad mass trend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite there, I think, on YouTube, especially in long form content.
Well, AI voice on TikTok that everyone uses has more personality. It's easier to listen to, like just flat out,
Now, having said that, if we just go back to the channel, Dan, there are some encouraging signs here in terms of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these, that one that we just looked at, video on demand, that got 500 views almost for a 7-minute video.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the shorts, it's really weird because like some shorts get 1,500 views and then the next one gets 4 views, 2 views, 2,500 views. That's really odd. I wonder if some of these are getting restricted, because we saw like the most horrifying army moments ever. Unbelievable secret messages of hostages.
Yeah.
Does that go towards community guideline concerns?
It could. That could be the issue here. They are putting footage in there that YouTube's AI is picking up and going, no,
Mhm.
and it is suppressing it, which is unfortunate because when that happens, it's not often that's what's happening. You just sit there and scratch your head like, why isn't this working? So yeah, it's something to be aware of because I feel like if YouTube's going to test your short, it's going to give you more than 4 views before it determines its fate. It just is. So that's a little bit concerning to me. Yeah, that said, it does look like when you do make your videos, you get right into the point,
Yep.
you're getting into these facts,
Yep.
you're sharing interesting information. I mean, Rob, you point out that they have some pretty decent views here, and I agree, but because of all the research they're doing and the information they're curating, putting together, I wonder how many more views and how many more subscribers they could have if the content didn't sound like that.
Yeah.
That's my concern as somebody who is focused on trying to help people grow on YouTube.
It'd be fascinating to look at the audience retention on a shorts and see if it like plummets, like it just drops 30 or 40% in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah.
From that voice. And here's another interesting thing, Dan. As far as I'm aware, all of the content here is probably sourced from elsewhere, be it copyright material or Creative Commons, etc., etc. But we haven't spoken about whether or not this may be considered a copyright claimed or whatever, because it feels like just naturally, as we were watching the content, it felt like it was probably transformational enough to get beyond that issue. And that was just an instinctive thing where we weren't really thinking about whether or not there may be any trouble with reused, repetitious, copyrighted content. There may be, but it felt not as bad as some of the ones that we've seen earlier on during the stream.
Yeah. So I just put a poll in chat. Do AI voiceovers and YouTube videos bother you? Specifically that one, I know that when you compare it to like some of the newer AI voices that we have access to now, there are ones that are a little bit easier to listen to. Sometimes they sound really human. There's some that one time we were doing this and there was one that like tricked us. It almost sounded, I think it was last week with Viper. We listened to one that was like, whoa, it took us a bit. We caught on that it was AI, but it was like, okay, this one was pretty good. So that's a thing. Because there's a little bit of back and forth in chat right now about like whether it bothers people or not. Some people are not bothered by it, and it looks like the poll is 123 votes. 77% of you say yes, it does bother you. So, and the last time we did a poll like this was very similar. It was more than 2/3 of, or more than 3/4 of the audience voting.
Mm-hmm.
So, just we're just trying to help. It's okay if you disagree with us. We're just trying to help. You did ask us our opinions after all. So that would leave us to where are we at? 137. Why don't we do our next VidiQ Max student?
Sure. All right.
The link is down below.
Today. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 today. The link's down below if you're interested in becoming a VidiQ Max student. We have here Laura Wells Fitness. And we're going to be taking a look at one of their videos and giving some advice. Only a handful of people submitted on the VidiQ Max form, by the way. So we did pick 2 channels today as a bonus, just as a little bonus for people. All right. So 15-minute dumbbell hit circuit modifications.
Hey there, it's Laura, and welcome to Dumbbell Hit. We've got a 15-minute intense hit workout using 1 dumbbell. I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell, which is about 4.5 kilos. Feel free to go heavier or lighter depending on your fitness level. You can also use no dumbbell at all. You'll also need a mat or a towel to put on the floor.
Pause it. Question. When does the actual routine start? Because it's 15 minutes, right? Are you able to just mouse over and see if we can find out where it begins?
Really soon. It looks like right around 30 seconds.
Get started.
Let's get started.
All right. Okay. Cool. Because I was just wondering, because the video was 18 minutes long, I was wondering if it was going to be like a 2 to 3 minute preamble.
Got it. Yeah. No, 30 seconds I think is okay.
Yeah.
And it's a setup too. It's not like, by the way, hit subscribe and blah, 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 blah. It's no, here's what you need. Here's what we're going to do. What I'll say is that the audio sounds very muffled, and there's a quality to it that's kind of missing. Maybe it's just the volume, maybe with compared to the music, but I felt like I was struggling a little bit to kind of hear, like, again, that feeling of having to lean in to kind of
Just
hear
play,
this.
play it again, Dan. I didn't notice, but
A mat or a towel to put on the floor. We're going to be going through 7 different movements, and then we will repeat them. Are you ready to burn some calories?
I don't feel that as much, but maybe you could bring the music down 20% and the voice up 20-40%. That might have a nicer balance to it.
If the voice was brought up, yeah, if the volume of the voice was brought up, maybe the music down, because the beats of the music are kind of distracting me, and it's because the voice just sounds like kind of far away, you know.
But does the beat of the music need to be there once the routine starts to be in the rhythm?
Remember, you can always put the weight
I think it is important, yeah,
down.
because
Heart rate
she's
should
kind of
go up.
moving with the rhythm too.
Yeah, I like the timer thing on the bottom left. That's well thought out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I've definitely heard worse audio. I just think that it just sounds far away. That's the best way I can put it.
Also, what do you think to the camera tilted on a tripod about 15? What was it? About 10 degrees.
I noticed that too. So love the space, love the
Yeah, yeah.
studio. But yeah, you can tell because of the garage handle here, like that angle is unnatural. The angle of the Tesla battery, like everything is about, yeah, like you said, 15
But the
degrees.
mat looks level.
Maybe.
It's a garage on like a, is that floor on a slant or something? Or is that an optical illusion?
I can't tell. Does it look like they're leaning?
Because look, the mat, if you track it along the timeline, looks like it's tilting the other way.
Oh, the mat is definitely, there's more gray down here than there is
Yeah.
here.
we're nitpicking so much here, but
this could be an architecture problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got subsidence in your house? You better get it checked out.
Maybe Tesla installed your battery wrong. Like maybe it's all crooked. I don't know. Something about it is wrong, and I would.
Perspective is weird, isn't it?
Yes, there's enough straight lines in the background to make me notice that something is off. There's an angle issue here. So try to find a way to address that. If it's not an architecture thing, if your wall,
let's play another video, Dan. Let's just see if this is something that is a.
Hey there,
It's motif. Yeah, look, it's even more tilted this time.
You can see the corner here. Look how close it is to the top of the frame, and then here.
Yeah.
It's sums.
Are you ready to burn some?
But it doesn't look like the host is leaning over.
Yeah. I don't know. We're getting caught up in the minutiae of angles here.
I think the reason is because it overall is a good video. Like,
so yeah, what I was going to say here is that if this channel started making videos 15 years ago,
yeah,
I reckon they probably have 1 million subscribers and 1 billion views.
Yeah,
because this fitness content in terms of its presentation is as good as, you know, we've minor nitpicks in terms of the audio and the camera angle. This content is as good, as educational, as professional as any other fitness channel I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah.
But that's also the problem in that I've seen a lot of channels like this already on YouTube. And so you're already in a very competitive space. And what makes you unique?
Yeah.
And that's more of a channel audit conundrum as opposed to a video audit problem.
I'm kind of interested in the videos that have over 1,000 views.
Yeah.
When compared to some of these other ones, it's got to be, let's see. It's got to be
That's
something
with no equipment, that one.
Oh, accessibility maybe. So the videos that don't have any equipment in them are more accessible compared to the ones that do, where you have to go to the store and buy something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this how old the channel is as well?
Month.
So, you know, if you're less than 2 months old, every single video is getting triple digits. So one video is broken out to 6,000 views. I think there's some very encouraging signs here. I wouldn't be surprised if this channel gets monetized within 6 months and has thousands of subscribers within their first year. How much you're able to break into this space is going to be a question. I think what's also good as well is that your posting cadence is really high as well at this point. It's a video like every 2 or 3 days, which is really strong as well.
Yeah, really nice consistency there on your upload frequency. And you have some videos here, I would say all of them are likely evergreen. So these videos, as you keep releasing stuff, these videos could be getting thousands of views well into the future. I mean, you uploaded one a week ago that has 236 views. Next week, it could have double that. You know, it's just one of those videos. Like, all of these things are, searchable and rewatchable too. If you liked a routine and you like the way it made you feel, you're gonna come back and watch that same routine again so you can follow along. So this was, you're investing in a lot here. You have an incredible space that you're working out of. You have a bunch of equipment, expensive stuff, right? And it looks awesome. And that's like one investment right there. But on top of that, you've invested in VidiQ Max. I mean, come on. Like, this person is taking YouTube extremely seriously. I'm not kidding.
Description, Dan, can we just check there as well? This is where probably I'd love to bring, I just want to bring Heather in for these these 2-minute moments where we can say, let's have a look at the description. Are you doing enough to turn your channel into a business? Like, could you have affiliate links for the equipment that you have? Do you have a course or a product or a service that you're able to maybe monetize in the future as well? Right now, I'm just seeing links to your website. So that may need a little bit of work going forward. And naturally, I would say do check out Think Media's content for that as well. But I'm guessing and hoping that I think we're actually going to have Heather on our VidiQ Max soon. I think that we're trying to arrange something. I don't know if she's maybe going to look at the business angle of channels. She often does that when she's on live streams. And I think she's on next week or the week after as well. But yeah, very encouraging signs for a channel with 270 subscribers.
Yeah.
Already thousands of views on some videos. Just, yeah, what's going on with the tripod?
That's, I think, the biggest improvement we can offer you right now. Is just see what's going on there.
Very unique, very unique.
Thank you for being part of our VidiQ Max program. Again, you have access basically 24/7 to our YouTube coaches if you have any questions, and there are regular presentations going on with special guests and tons of incredibly valuable YouTube information. So if you're looking to take your YouTube channel to the next level, link is down below.
To the max.
To the max, yes.
And we get to call you all Maxes. We still haven't thought of a name for our regular VidiQ community. The closest we came was Vidiots, Emily D. Baker's suggestion. I wonder where she is now. I wonder where she's gone. I haven't heard or seen anything of her on YouTube for months. Whatever happened to that person? Anyway, we get to call our Max members Maxes.
Yeah. It's Cookie Bunny Gaming.
All right.
Is the next one we're checking out. And I'd put it into Google.
I suppose, by the way, we are still very good friends with Emily D. Baker. She's just on a tear as a YouTube channel, and we need to allow her the space to do that. But hopefully we'll have her back on at some point in the future where she can talk about all of her success.
Yes, that we need to break down what happened with the Johnny Depp thing. I don't think I've ever seen a YouTube get.
I've already thought of my defend the indefensible for that, Dan. Like, it would be something along the lines of when is Johnny Depp allegedly going to defame someone else so I can grow my YouTube channel a bit more? That would be my defend the indefensible.
Oh yeah, we got to get Emily back. Okay, so it's a Roblox channel. They would like you to subscribe because they have videos, 2 to 3 videos a week. There's their, that's what they're trying to tell us. Is that true? It looks to be. It looks like they're switching between live streams and long form content. So I'm going to click on the latest long form video.
All right.
It's a giveaway, actually. So
no, let's not do that one.
How to get free kits in Bed Wars. I'm going to mute that because I don't know if that's like copywritten. This is
Whoa.
okay.
Wow.
So I muted it, but I meant to pause it. So that was 11 seconds of branded intro. And when we say branded intro, that's exactly the kind of intro we're talking about. It's the ones with loud music and, you know, their name in lights just kind of flashing around the screen. First bit of advice, drop that completely. Second bit of advice, get rid of this. The subscribe button here is also very distracting.
How long is that there for?
The entire
Whoa,
video?
that's-
No, not the entire video. About the first minute almost. It's like
Whoa,
50 seconds
okay.
and it goes away.
Yikes.
Yes, we all want subscribers. Dump that thing. You know, present some value at the very end. Give them that plug. Hey, by the way, don't forget to subscribe. Next bit of advice. Pay for your video editing software.
Now, let's stress what they're doing here is not wrong. Like, as far as where this is not illegal, what you're doing, it's just it has a watermark on it because you've not paid for you're using the free version.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you're just going to get stuck with this big, enormous banner, which is is unprofessional the right word, or just like
it is. I'm sorry to say, but it definitely is the right word for it. I'm just looking real quick. Roblox Bed Wars. This is what you're competing against.
My stats, I have 2,000 wins in total. I am a sweat now. But there's only one problem.
Great audio, no branded intro, no watermarks, no big red subscribe button. And this person has 171,000 subscribers. They posted this video. What is it? What's today? They posted today and they already have 18,000, almost 19,000 views. So Roblox Bed Wars content is very popular right now because this was the first result from just typing in Roblox Bed Wars. You want to be that person. You want to show up first. And the way to do that is to make sure you have great videos with fantastic retention. I can already tell by watching 6 seconds of this video that this person's got that down. I'm not holding you to this standard. I'm not holding anyone to this standard when they're first starting out. Don't get me wrong, but the bare minimum here is going to be those initial investments. YouTube, although you can upload videos for free, there is some level of investment that every creator has to make, right? Whether it's a gaming PC, whether it's a microphone, a camera. For gaming channels, it's going to be that microphone, it's going to be that PC, it's going to be your editing software. So you get this watermark gone. Because if you do a search for Roblox Bed Wars, I guarantee you the first 10 results don't have this watermark on them. So
there are completely free video editors as well. I mean, I don't know how much of how important this particular editing tool is to you. Like, are you using the tools in it to zoom in, pan out, etc., etc.?
There's one tip right there. Try out the free version of DaVinci Resolve. I use it. There are no watermarks. Yeah, DaVinci Resolve is one I hear about a lot. It's great. And if you look at it and you feel a little bit intimidated by it, it's okay. Watch some YouTube tutorials and trust me, your videos will come out so much better. You know, you'll be free of this watermark. Putting all that aside,
I'm play for a little longer.
Yes, I'm worried about the music, how it ramped up even more when the intro went away, and I'm worried about this blur above their heads. I don't think they're doing voiceover.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put the volume up a little bit.
Sure. Okay. Okay. I don't know if this music is copyrighted. I'm worried if it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute it because it's.
Yeah. Oh, more calls to action.
Oh man, you really want subscribers.
You know what it feels like? You know, like a NASCAR or an F1 car has like just loads of adverts stuck on the side of it. It feels like that type of video.
Yes,
just stickers and advertisements just plonked all over it.
It does, doesn't it? Oh man. So I appreciate that. Maybe you're saving up for that.
They're even typing it there. Look.
Yes. Oh. Make sure to subscribe. It's.
And now we've just said it as well as a bubble.
Subscribe.
It's a 4 different calls to action to subscribe there right now.
Yeah. So don't do this.
No, there's 5. There's another one there as well.
Where?
In the chat. So, it's the historical chat that's also been left there as well.
Yeah.
But you know what's the funniest thing? The watermark isn't a subscribe button. Or is it? I can't just mouse over it, Dan, is it? The video watermark down in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh.
The one thing where it should be a subscribe. It's not.
It's not zooming in on it. So all of that needs to go. I want you to take your 5 or 4 subscribe call to actions that you've put in your video and go down to 0. And at the very end of your video, put 1 and mention it very briefly and never again.
That just made me chuckle.
So the microphone thing is your next investment, because it's really hard when it comes to gaming content. Again, think about your competition and think about your audience. A lot of people, when you give tips and tricks in video games, some of them have your video on a second screen and they're trying to listen to you while they do the thing in the game. You know, there's moments like where there's certain situations where this just doesn't work, like sitting down and like having to read, and this text is small too. So it's tough. The viewing experience here is probably really, really hard. You've got a good amount of views, which means
Yeah, I'm
you're
wondering
sharing
where the views come
something. That's great. Like,
What about the comments? I'm curious to see if there's positive comments here.
tip 1, don't put like 100 pictures of subscribe buttons. Don't use caps. Same thumbnail. You should change it every video.
Someone's done an audit already for you.
Someone is giving you some solid tips there, and yeah. So some comments here. Overall, how many comments was it? 34.
So yeah, that seems like an acceptable level of engagement for 2,000 views.
Yeah.
As you say, something YouTube decided to share this for some reason beyond all of the frustrations that we're coming across.
It's this. I mean, this is obviously something that people are really, really searching for.
Okay.
And let's give them some credit. Your thumbnail's not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
free kits. I'm guessing the kits are these outfits, so these are probably relevant. And the only thing I would have done differently is not put your name on your character, and I would have probably gotten rid of your character and the emoji, so those kits right there, if that's what those are, could be bigger and fill up more of the frame, because those are really the focus. That's the selling point. But that's a nitpick. Not a bad custom thumbnail. I think in terms of your YouTube education, custom thumbnails are something that you're getting, you're probably feeling pretty comfortable with at this point, and you should. The next thing is going to be with the production quality of video, which is why we do the video reviews. So no more watermark, no more subscribe calls to action, and find a way around this, without using an AI voice. I would get a microphone, or like we said a few times now, you can go on different websites and you can actually hire people to read your script for you, and you can just put that under your video if you don't want to be the one to read it. Totally acceptable.
Word.
There you go. Some investments to make in your channel and your education. What do you think? I think we did a good job.
I think, Dan, that we've looked at a good collection of channels this week and videos, and I thought a spin the wheel actually helped break up what we should be focusing on. I thought it was a useful introduction. I loved the hard work and time you put into the clip to introduce
what clip?
Spin the wheel. The spin the wheel thing.
That
Yeah,
one?
that bad boy.
Okay. Yeah. We can use that again. Right now?
Sure.
No, that's okay. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. We've shown you, I think, a lot of awesome stuff. We've seen some awesome channels.
So I can just play whenever I want. I've got live stream controls as well, Dan. I'll just keep playing that bit.
Put it in there as well.
Oh my goodness. That should be a sound effect in itself. I won't press it again. All right, I promise.
I don't trust you. If you do it again, I'm leaving. I don't even remember what I was going to say now. Blah, blah, blah. Some about videos. Join VidiQ Max. It's really valuable, really awesome. Everybody in there has been amazing. Almost every week, there's a new presentation. You're missing out on something every single week by not being in there. That's it. Why is everyone
That's all
still here?
Dan's got. I think he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He's made that clip. He's run the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent work.
Yeah.
We thank you for your time.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all later on in the week with a video and live streams next week.
Yes, we'll be doing all the things. When's the next video come out? Tomorrow?
Oh, it's probably going to be Friday, I think. Yeah, I'm working on a video. No, I'm not going to tell. I'll tell people in Max what I'm working on. So if you want to know what I'm working on next, I will tell them. But you'll have to wait.
When are you going to be in there telling them?
Oh, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them right now.
Oh,
I'm going to type it in as you're doing this outro.
Okay. Well, this is the outro. It's just the screen. So
Cool.
I don't know if I beat you to the punch there, but it's just this. Why is everyone still here? It's still over 400 people. What can we do to get you to leave? Do you think that worked?
Sorry.
It did drop a little bit.
It's that little music. It's that bit.
It's pretty great music. All right, bye everybody.